Hello, everybody. It's Spider here, coming soon podcast. Of course, in San Antonio, Texas, we are inside the Wonderland of the America, and of course, our guest, Garrett, my man. You are here. Tell us who's here beside you, man.
My friend here showed up. He is Eric Hardie, the writer of all the diaries from Monster High, most of the copy you read on the package.
No, and of course, I mean, when it comes to San Antonio, I know he moved to Texas, but yourself, have you been here in San Antonio prior?
I've only driven through once before, so this is my first time actually staying here.
Oh, okay, cool, man. I mean, I'm here born and raised, of course, a lot to see. So, I mean, the fact that you guys can make it out here, man, is always a pleasure. Now, of course, we were talking earlier. I mean, when it came to doing as far as the dolls, the work, and everything, you got to build them, you got to design them.
Yeah, I designed the dolls, and then Eric, we would put together like rough character descriptions, and then he would flesh them all out and make them come to life. So.
And I gotta ask, because of course I'm pretty sure I bought you one of your mansions, because as much product as I bought my oldest, you know, I'm sure you got a nice car or something going, man. But
somebody got it. It wasn't us. Somebody showed up in a Ferrari when bonuses came out, but it wasn't Garrett.
Oh man, you guys take an Uber out here? What's going on? No. But of course, man. I mean, my kids loved it. You know, I mean, I never grew up playing with dolls. I mean, of course, I had GI Joe, He-Man, and everything else. But my oldest, you know, she loved these. I was just telling them, you know, I kept a lot of this stuff just because I invested a lot in them, you know. But as far as the idea, I mean, when they were like, okay, you know what, we're gonna build this. What was your inspiration?
The original inspiration was I was actually on the My Scene team, which is another doll line. I was a packaging designer, and they were looking to do another new fashion doll line. And we went shopping with 12 and 15-year-old girls, and they were buying things that we went to the mall, just followed them around, they give them money, and we saw what they purchased. And skulls and stuff were just starting to show up in like tween and teen wear. And this was back in 2007. And one of them bought a stuffed skeleton toy that was called Skull Animals, and the tagline was "Dead Animals Need Love Too." And I thought, oh, what if dead dolls need fashion too? And so that night I went home and thought about it and was like, oh, what if, you know, like, there were zombies, but then I was like, oh, then they're all the same, but what if it's a bunch of different monsters going to together, and it's team life with the monster version of it. And I sketched up Frankie that night.
No, and of course, get the next generation of golf girls ready, right? I mean, because that's the inspiration. I gotta say too, because when I bought the dolls, I mean, I realized they were bigger than, you know, the other ones that were out there. Was that purposely done?
Yeah, I think it was just, you know, what felt right for the line and stuff like that. We wanted to have like the bigger feet so we could do like really detailed shoes and things like that. And
the details were so important. I mean, you look at any of the dolls, just the way Garrett and his team put the details in them. There are things that you won't see unless you take the doll out of the package. Just little things, and that's what differentiated them from any other fashion doll, was all the details, and there was so much passion in the group to create. I mean, like, nobody ever said this is good enough.
Right.
We always said, what more can we do? What else can we do? Like,
nice, man.
We love the fans, and we got a lot of input from the fans. You know, they would always try to be approachable, and you know, some of the stuff they suggested, of course, we couldn't do. But
we tried where we could.
We tried, but where we could, we put stuff in. And I grew up loving like the old Hammer horror films and mythology. So and I got a chance when they said, hey, we want to put you on this brand as a writer. I got a chance to put all that together and create stories and stuff that went on with the dolls. And it was just the perfect.
We had the beast time working on it. We had so much fun.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
and I was gonna say, I mean, when it came to the line, because I myself, like I mentioned, I mean, I grew up playing with He-Man, what they call 5.5. You know, that's the height. Because the dolls themselves, when they came to what you guys were doing, they were bigger, so you couldn't mix and match. You had to buy everything for those dolls. When it came to clothing, housing.
And we made them a little bit shorter because they were in high school. And so then it also helps you when you're doing accessory stuff there, because Barbie size, you know, she's like 1/6 scale, and so we made them a little bit smaller so we can do accessory stuff and they can still fit inside and still look good, because there's shelf height requirements and things like that, so we made them just a little bit shorter.
No, and that's one of the things I noticed, because I mean, it costs extra to buy everything else, of course. But yeah, the kids loved it, and I mean, as far as now, I mean, what's going on with the cartoon itself for the dolls?
I mean, neither one of us work at Mattel anymore, so Mattel owns everything we did. But I know that there's a new Generation 3 is out, and it's exciting to see it come back. A whole new generation of kids get to, be introduced to Monster High, and it's only reinvigorated interest in the original line too, so that's pretty cool.
No, definitely, man.
Yeah, but we're definitely OG Monster High.
Oh yeah.
So we whatever they do or wherever they go forward with it, we're the ones that put the stake in the ground and built the foundation.
Nice, exactly.
It's really cool to see it live on and what else it becomes, you know. So that's what's pretty cool.
No, for sure. And of course, you guys get to come to events. Well, you get to follow this guy around. But I mean, as far as coming to events and meeting fans, because of course, you had a couple of people out here getting autographs and photos. So it's got to be cool, right?
Yeah, meeting the fans is always the best part.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, for sure.
We would do Comic-Con. That was because we would be in the booth just wandering around talking to people, and that was always the best part.
Yeah.
Is being able to interact with the fans because they wouldn't let us really interact with fans.
No, yeah. I mean, you guys were working.
Yeah.
Exactly. So be able to get face to face with them and talk to them and find out, hey, we had kids come up and say, I really felt like an outcast until I found Monster High.
Yeah.
And now I don't feel like I'm such, I don't feel like, I feel like there's somebody who understands me.
No, yeah. I mean, that's kind of like what I mentioned earlier. I mean, not necessarily goth. I mean, I grew up with punk rock, and so we were always like, on our own little groups. But I mean, yeah, it's like now it's a little bit more out there. Now you see people with green hair and nose rings, and I'm like, hey,
And it was really cool too because a lot of dads would thank us because they would have something to collect with their daughters.
Yeah.
So they could go on their toy hunts. They take their daughters. They're looking. Their daughters like Foster and they're looking for Hot Wheels. Or
No, exactly, man.
That was one of the coolest things actually. Because I have two girls, and as a dad girl, we did the same thing. And I would get to hear, hey, I love this doll, or I love this story, or whatever. So it was very cool.
No, for sure, guys. And of course, I mean, we are here Saturday. You guys are going to be, you're going to be here tomorrow. Are you going to be sticking around?
No, I probably won't. A storm came through, and I got a bunch of trees.
Oh, man. I'm sorry to hear, man.
Yeah, well,
No, well, for sure.
Around the country, that's what happens.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, of course, and thank you for coming by, man. And of course, I mean, I'm going to be here tomorrow. But for those coming by, Wonderland of the Americas, of course, you guys are going to be here tomorrow?
Yep.
All right, we'll see you then. Thank you.
Thanks, Mark.